It is 7:57 on your Thursday morning. You're watching News Channel 3 on WGNT. I'm Jessica Larche. A University of Cincinnati police officer has turned himself in after a grand jury indicted him on murder charges.
The state of Maine wants a healthcare worker who treated Ebola patients to stay at home, and they're considering taking legal action to enforce the quarantine. But the nurse says she's going to fight that.
We are following breaking news right now. At least one person is hurt after an early morning accident in Virginia Beach. Police were called to reports of a car overturned on Chartwell Drive. Police say at least one person was hurt, but we do not know the extent of that person's injuries. It is 5:27, so go ahead, stop what you're doing right now and take a look at your television screen. A little girl with vision problems got to see her mom and dad for the first time, and her reaction was priceless. 10-month-old Piper was fitted for glasses, and the camera was rolling as she went side to side, looking at her mom and dad. Look at this.
$1 bill, please.
Please. Hey, it's not payday yet. I'm just saying.
New York.
This is about 15 years old.
Lift
so
with your
it's-
knees. Lift with your. Oh, wait. Oh.
Yeah, that's about it. Seriously.
Scott, I have something very special for you as a welcome gift. You can't see it, but I've got my favorite Mardi Gras beads just for you. Well, you have probably seen them on Comedy Central, Tyler Perry's House of Pain. You got it?
I know.
You got it? You gotta get ready for the program.
Comfortable.
News Channel 3 is taking action when it comes to health and fitness. Day 30 of the 31-day workout challenge was a beast. This was a great workout. My thighs are on fire. Not
yes.
fire. You all have been following and supporting me for the last several years, down nearly 100 pounds. I was not alone as I crossed the finish line. Who's that? That's Miles Henderson.
Am I the only one having trouble sitting right now?
I have lost 90 pounds. I will lose another 90, but I've been following Jessica on her journey.
And I also want to tell your news anchor, she inspired me to lose weight, so don't look at this bag, because I did lose 34 pounds.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. I pretty much stayed behind Kathleen the whole time, you know, for moral support. Oh, who am I kidding? Did I earn a superhero name? J-Lar?
Awesome, that's what I want to do.
J-Lar. Mike, this is for you. Go ahead, Valerie. The president of the National Alliance to End Homelessness says what New Orleans has done for homeless veterans proves that this is a problem that can be solved. You don't have anything to say about the disfigurement or leaving instruments in patients' mouths?
It's like ridiculous.
You said it's effing ridiculous?
It is. You need.
This is not ridiculous. You pay people checks. That's
Can you get it on?
One of the things that has really stuck with me from that news conference was Captain Flannery. When I asked him, did he have hope that the missing crew member will still be found alive? And he said, absolutely.
As investigator Jessica Larche reveals, the board has a history of reinstating dentists with a shady past. After years of News Channel 3 investigations exposing more than a decade of Derek Broadway's history of bad dental work, you don't have anything to say about the disfigurement or leaving instruments in patients' mouths? And his criminal record for writing bad checks to his employees?
It's like ridiculous.
You said it's effing ridiculous?
It is. You need.
This is not ridiculous. You pay people checks. That's
Can you get it on?
The State Board of Dentistry revoked his license, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll never practice again. News Channel 3's digging through nearly a decade of the board's records reveals they've reinstated dentists who've done time for distributing cocaine, performed unnecessary and excessive procedures, committed healthcare fraud, heated a dental probe with a cigarette lighter. We questioned the board's executive director, Sandra Reen, about what some patients call damaging decisions. How is it that a dentist like that is still allowed to practice?
It's a judgment call of the board. And I can't elaborate.
Records show that even though several dentists qualify for license revocation, the board usually orders suspensions, fines, and continuing education. They revoked less than a dozen licenses in the last decade and chose to reinstate some of them. The board reinstated Roy Shelburne after a federal court found him guilty of healthcare fraud. The board also gave Robert M. Block of Florida the green light to practice in Virginia. Records say he performed unnecessary root canals and violently slammed a patient's head back in a chair during treatment.
Really, they are not protecting the citizens of Virginia. It's ridiculous.
Former Broadway patient Rosemary Rogers was livid Broadway's license wasn't revoked years ago. Records say he botched her root canal and falsified her medical records. The board suspended him for 2 months, fined him $20,000, and temporarily banned him from doing root canals.
I don't understand. Does somebody have to die before they will revoke his license?
Every day I would wake up, there was pus in my mouth.
After hearing from Lamar Price, several other former patients, and dentists who said they had to correct Broadway's work, the board decided to revoke his license. Former patients pray the board doesn't ever deem him fit to practice.
They're responsible just as much as Dr. Broadway and these other bad dentists. They knew about it.
Now, the state just released this official ruling on Broadway. It says if he wants his license back in 3 years, 3/4 of the board has to agree. They're also fining him $5,000, and if he doesn't pay that in 45 days, it will be sent to collections. Jessica Larche, News Channel 3.
That grace is unmerited favor. It's something you don't deserve. This for me is not something I deserve, but it's a blessing that's come. I get emotional because, sorry, wow.
Inside Steve Vatsina's orchestra room, the miracle of music shines through every note.
White, pure, clear, clean.
And flickers in their eyes.
I see in my students' eyes endless possibilities and dreams and desires and passion.
It's that passion that's put Mr. V on a path to win music's highest honor as Educator of the Year.
This all kind of brings up all of these emotions in me, to know your life makes a difference, to know that the words that you speak and the attitude of your heart is affecting kids' lives for their future.
His classroom, a crossroads of his past.
Mom and Dad decided that I was going to be a musician, and so I chose the violin because it just seems so cool.
And their futures.
Because I believe they all have a calling and a destiny.
Mr. V's been teaching more than 2 decades, and in between the waves of his baton, thousands of students' lives changed. In fact, it was a former student and someone that he mentored who submitted him for the Grammy Award.
Who is Mr. V to me?
And as part of those submission videos, one student explained how Mr. V used music to mend broken hearts.
I didn't have many friends. I actually got picked on a lot in school. He had this talent, this gift of giving to people just selflessly. And I feel like he gave that gift to me.
Mr. V spread that gift all over the world, taking students on mission trips, using the power of music to weave worlds together. And for years, he humbled himself in front of the school board, begging to keep music programs funded. The fruits of that labor made sweet when his kids took home a top prize.
You know, teachers complain about we don't get paid enough, and would I like to have more money? Absolutely. But you know what? I get paid in that look. You know, you were talking about the eyes of a child.
His riches ring out in this orchestra room and fall on ears eager to hear hope in between the notes.
Music's a language that I think the heart has to be involved with. It's a passion, it's a communication.
What is that song to describe this moment?
In my heart, I know that this moment isn't something that I earned. It's something that's been given to me. It's an amazing grace.
Losing weight is a battle countless people face, and many of you have noticed that News Channel 3's Jessica Larche has been getting results in her own weight loss journey.
You have been sending emails asking her how she's doing it. Well, now she's sharing her story with you.
Losing weight is 99% mental. It's kind of like a battle. You're like fighting to become the best version of yourself.
Jessica Larche, News Channel 3.
I started at Channel 3. I was probably around a size 22, 24. Summer of 2012, I had a huge wake-up call. I was getting these insanely bad headaches. So I went to the doctor. My blood pressure was something like 150/100. And that is dangerously high. I was terrified. I had a moment where I said, you know what? I am blessed to have this burden because it's something that I can work on every day. And as long as I put in the work, lunges, squats, I'll be successful. I had to look at the long term and figure out how to change my lifestyle. It started like researching foods to help lower blood pressure. I love kale. Spaghetti squash instead of pasta. I have these 2 salt alternatives that I use. It like gives you the flavor without having all the sodium. Y'all know I'm from New Orleans. And when I'm ready to have my crawfish, I have my crawfish. I don't overindulge, but then I get right back to the lifestyle I've created for myself. I get right back to the gym. I'm not on blood pressure medication anymore. That is the biggest achievement. I don't really have like a final destination goal because this is a lifelong journey.
News Channel 3 is helping you take action and get results when it comes to health and fitness. A Smithfield woman lost nearly 230 pounds over the last few years, and now she can go on an adventure that wasn't possible before she took action. Here's her story.
For Kathleen Ross, being able to zip line represents a major milestone.
I never thought I'd be able to do something like this a few years ago. 400 pounds that you couldn't have done zip line, and 300 pounds you couldn't, there's weight limits.
Kathleen battled weight her entire life, and a few years ago, she tipped the scales at 409 pounds.
I turned to food. That was what made me happy in life.
But after having her son, she started thinking more about her own health.
That was a big factor, but that couldn't be my only factor. I had to want it for myself as well. You can't do it for anyone else.
So a few years ago, Kathleen started taking action.
Just one day, something clicked, and I said, you know what, I have to do this. I want to do this. I had started, dieting, watching what I was eating. I had started at 1,500 calories and then working out here at the gym.
It's that dedication that's led to Kathleen's 229-pound weight loss.
If I don't lose another pound, Jessica, I'm proud of where I am right now, and I'm happy with my journey.
Happiness marked by her son's sweet words of approval.
For him to call me skinny, I never thought anybody would call me skinny or beautiful.
Do you think if you had not started this journey that you would still be here?
Possibly not. Or if I was alive today, I really wouldn't be living. I would be alive, but not living.
And that's why News Channel 3 took action to help Kathleen live out her dream of ziplining, teaming up with the Virginia Aquarium Adventure Park.
This is serious. This is serious.
Something we can both do now at this stage in each of our weight loss journeys.
All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Woo! Kathleen kicked major butt on every obstacle leading up to the zip line.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
And oh my God. I pretty much stayed behind Kathleen the whole time, for moral support. Oh, who am I kidding? You see the video. Even Photog Roy called me out.
Oh, Jess, you're on the kiddie course.
Oh, hush! Well, after surviving all those obstacles, it was time to zip line.
Thank you.
You were not standing on the sidelines today.
No, ma'am, I was not.
I was chasing you. I couldn't keep up with you. In each step that you took today on these obstacle courses, what did that mean to you?
It was a step further from who I used to be. I'm getting further away from where I was.
Wow.
Good job, Kathleen. You know what? She is really an incredible person. She's so inspiring. You are beautiful every day, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
She seems fun.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She is a lot of fun. She really was kicking my tail on the obstacle course because that was very scary.
It looked very frightening.
It was. But her biggest thing, she's lost nearly 230 pounds, started her journey at 409 pounds. She eats somewhere between 1,200 and 1,500 calories a day. She's working out, a few days a week, and she knows it's a lifestyle change, and we talk all the time, sharing ideas, encouragement. She's a great person. So happy we could share her story.
Congrats to her. We're back right after this.